An ethanol bill proposal. NTV's Grow Steve White takes a look at this and sits down with Adrian Smith.
E15 is about the consumers. Consumers having more choices at the pump. Right now, the EPA actually bans the sale of E15 during the summer months. That's not consumer friendly. Let's let the consumers decide what they would like to put in their engines. And with that, I think we would actually see more sale, a greater velocity of sales in the ethanol industry. And obviously that's good for many reasons. But as long as we make sure that consumers are in charge here, I think we can capitalize on that. And let's just make sure that yet another federal agency doesn't stand in the way of consumers and actually a growing economy in Ag America.
When we go to the pumps now and get an ethanol fuel, it's generally a 10% blend. Do you see that as kind of an artificial cap that would not be a problem in encouraging higher blends?
Right. I mean, the E10 has been, I think, a good product out there. Some people want more. Some people may want less. I mean, let's let the consumer be the one who decides, not the EPA. And I think we can actually see more sales of ethanol as a result because of the consumers who do want more choices at the pump.
And when we talk about ethanol, do you see that as something that's adding value to our Nebraska corn crop?
Absolutely. And when you see the need in our energy policy for more sources of energy, this is a good example of how we can produce energy here in Middle America.
And it's something that's renewable and not from a foreign source.
That's right. It's renewable, and we know that expanding markets for our grains is a good thing. Let's take advantage of that. And at the same time, we've seen the ethanol industry really become much more efficient, and they're out there with a good quality product, and we want to encourage the sale of that.
You know, when President Obama first took office, he kind of talked about an all-of-the-above energy policy, but I've heard from some corn folks in the state that think that the EPA has maybe put up some roadblocks to ethanol. Would you share that view?
Certainly, the EPA has put up a lot of roadblocks to a lot of things, but certainly the EPA restrictions that they have in place, I think, are very cumbersome. They're problematic. They stand in the way of consumers exercising their consumer choice, and we need to be mindful of that. Certainly, we have been reining in the EPA in many ways. You know, they've wanted to expand their power and scope, and that's certainly unnecessary, never intended by Congress. And so we're having to act in a way at the congressional level to rein in the EPA, and my E15 bill is one more way to do that, to make sure that the EPA does not restrict choice.
We have a Grow forecast after the break, and later on, learn more about careers and how FFA in agriculture has an impact on a wide variety of them when you meet the Farm Youth of the Month. Stick around.